Welcome to the After the Show Movie Podcast, brought to you by your hosts, Ace Scully and Sid Talk. We're addicted to movies. Are you? Good afternoon. Welcome, Sid Talk. Hello.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. The before the after the show discussion was about this movie and various other things, and also me messing with this towering mountain of roads that I've built in City Skylines, which I didn't discuss. It was all in my head. So
the thing that you built in City Skylines was actually in this movie today.
Yeah, it was.
Which was really weird because I was like, oh, that's that thing.
I don't have a secret garage in there full of evidence, but it is, you pointed out the other day, I like to build these mountains and then put roads all the way up.
And then
if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's City Skylines. You build a city. That's it, really.
And you like to build a road up a big hill just to make the traffic go slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winding around and around and around and around and around.
Well done.
I know.
All right.
It's a great skill.
All right. Welcome to the show. This is After the Show, your weekly movie review podcast. And on Saturday, July the 5th, happy July the 4th, everybody. Belated. It is.
Actually, they won't even be listening to this on the 5th.
No, they won't. Happy July the 7th or after that.
Correct. It could be August 15th of 2059.
It could. And if so...
Ooh, wouldn't it be cool? Right now, this minute, someone's listening to this, and it's that date and that year, and they're like, wow.
They anticipated what I was going to do. Magical. All right, so this week's episode, we're looking at a new movie. The movie is Thunderbolts, Asterisk. Asterisk?
I think we don't need to make a big deal of that, but you seem to find it interesting,
On the title on IMDb is Thunderbolts Asterisk, so it's part of the title. It's a 2025 release, out now on streaming. It's out now on premium video on demand. You can go and buy it on wherever you go and buy it. I don't know where you buy it. It's PG-13. Its runtime is 2 hours and 7 minutes, and it's from our friends at Marvel and Disney who sent us a code for review. Sid Talk, can you give us the synopsis of Thunderbolts Asterisk?
Synopsis of a superhero movie? We've got a bunch of people who've done bad things, but they have super sort of powers and abilities, and they're going to be called upon to do something that redeems them. And also, as you said, there's a lot of mental health discussion in this movie.
There is. I'll give you the one off the box. After finding themselves ensnared in a death trap, an unconventional team of anti-heroes must go on a dangerous mission that will force them to confront the darkest corners of their past.
Fair enough. That's fair.
It's Thunderbolts. I mean, they're not called Thunderbolts until this movie. You don't know what Thunderbolts is. But it's a group of people you already know. Do you already know them all?
I do not. I mean, I didn't know about Phase Lady. Maybe she's been in something and
Phase Lady was in something, but I was having trouble even keeping up with that. I
completely forgot. Nothing against her because I like the character and everything. It's pretty cool, but...
Yeah. The other lady who there's a fight at the beginning inside the bunker, and the other lady who turns up, played by Olga Korylenska, that lady. She's the Bond girl on my Bond poster downstairs, the one that fell off today.
Yeah.
Why did she show up for like 5 seconds and we never saw her again?
I don't know. See, I don't store these things in my memory much, so I don't know. I thought maybe she was a big deal, and
She was in something else, been in the Marvel universe before, I think, but not as that character. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, she shows up. And then,
isn't that a flaw? To assume that people are completely obsessed with a world or a universe like the Marvel universe. Therefore, you're just going to know and fill in all the gap.
Yes. Clearly you can't, because
No.
I'm somebody who's seen everything, and Phase Lady, I was having trouble. I recognize her face. I recognize the power she had, and I'm like, where did we see her? Was it in one of the TV shows? Was it in one of the movies? I don't know where she came from. And I still don't know, actually. And we've just watched the movie, so I've still no idea. So it's a group of heroes and heroines that you've seen before, or maybe you haven't.
Anti-heroes.
So yeah, a bunch of people. They've got superpowers and stuff. Not everybody has in this movie.
No.
In fact.
Elena doesn't. Elena. She doesn't have superpowers. No. She's just really skillful.
She's been trained as an assassin.
And she is, of course, the Black Widow's sister.
Bucky's got superpowers. The Red Guardian, I'm not 100% sure. what his deal is? He's very strong. Things break.
Yeah, remember he said in the truck,
super serum.
He got the super serum, but the KGB version. So whatever that means, and he is super strong.
Yeah, he did take a massive concrete block over his back.
Yeah,
and then you've got the Captain America guy who was from the Captain America TV show, the one played by Wyatt Russell, and he's like there's a really funny line in this movie where Bob says to Captain, you remember?
Which one?
Bob says to Captain America, you can't be Captain America, you're an asshole.
Well, he says, you see, you're Captain America. He's like, yeah. He's like, you're such an asshole. And he's like, gets him mad.
Yeah, because he is.
He acts like an asshole.
But then, yeah, this movie is based around everybody's got a mental health type or something that happened in the past that made them what they are.
I mean, it's about coping with trauma.
And the whole thing's about that.
Yep.
And it's even the bad guy's motivations is about that. It's touchy-feely in a way as a superhero movie.
Absolutely.
And I don't feel like any other Marvel movies ever.
You say the bad guy. I don't see a bad guy. I see a bad lady.
Yeah, there's a bad lady. And
I don't think of the Centurion or whatever he's.
No, he's definitely not a bad guy, but there's a bad guy turn in this movie.
The philosophy is, regardless of what power you give someone, right?
Yeah.
If it is injecting them with the serum. So like Captain America, Bucky, and the Russian guy, Hopper, we're going to call him from Stranger Things because I forget his name in the movie. They all get a super serum to make them superhuman, almost like a Superman type of character, right? They're super strong, indestructible, all that kind of stuff. But because of their personalities and because of their backstory, their life, Bucky is, of course, commandeered to be bad, but it kind of leans him into that because he's got sort of a dark past anyway. Captain America is Mr. Wannabe. He's works really hard. He wants to champion America. Like we see him as a young man, right? He's like Mr. Wholesome. So you inject him and what you get is a different thing. The Russian guy, all he wants is to be like famous and he wants to be on the cereal box and he wants the glamour of it all. So no matter what you're handing the person as their superpower and or major skill, it only really depends on everything that came before that moment. So like the Hulk got his powers, the original Hulk, right? Banner. And he's a good guy. And so the Hulk being in him is one thing. But if you put that in someone else, it can turn into something completely distorted and different, like villain versus hero, right?
Right.
That is what this is about. And then you add on top of that, Bob has childhood trauma. His father was abusive to his mother. Lots of coping, also probably mental health. He talks about highs and lows. So that's potentially manic depression. Is that caused by trauma? Is that part of who he is? All that stuff. And then you give him this, whatever she's done, Miss Defense or whatever name. What's her name?
Valentina.
Yeah. I just know her from Seinfeld. So
yeah.
Julia Louis.
And we've seen her throughout the Marvel.
Absolutely.
Thing.
She's a sneaky one, right? She wants to be in charge. She wants to be the boss of everything. So she's trying to compile this super good guy, protector, and then have her brand on him. So she uses Bob, injects him. So she's also just snotty and controlling, very charming. She knows how to manipulate people. She knows how to say what they want to hear. All the while, she has her own agenda to be in charge of everything. Because she says, no one can impeach me. Yeah. I will be in charge, which means if she creates this good guy, the Centurion, was that it?
Yeah.
Who can protect, it's basically a male version of Captain Marvel, basically. If I can do this, then no one can defeat me. No one. So there's something wrong with her too. She's got issues. We saw her flashback for childhood was her dad was probably a shady character. She ends up, unfortunately, causing the bad guys to find him and do away with him, right? So that's her bad, dark moment in childhood that we know of. So yeah, it's heavily leans into the ingredients that make you who you are will mix with whatever power and superpowers and skills you get to turn you into whatever you're going to become, right?
After watching the last Marvel movie that I didn't like, the Captain America one with the Red Hulk. Remember that one?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is really poor. This one is a huge step up from that, I think. I think this one was interesting. I didn't know where the plot was going. It wasn't laid out like that Captain America one was. You kind of going, oh, that guy's the Hulk, isn't he? Or something.
Right.
And you're going to turn into the Hulk. Oh, there he goes. This one, there was more to it. I didn't know where it was going. I didn't know what Bob was, or when we reveal Bob, how he's going to be. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? I didn't know. And I really thought it was imaginative. I especially liked, where they go into the black kind of void, and then you kind of jump in between the people's memories.
And the feelings that they hold on to about bad times of their life.
Cool.
It was very cool. I really liked that.
Yeah, so I think this is a step up.
Because I think it's real, right? We relive moments in our lives over and over and over and over. And you even hinted at it a little bit today. We were talking about water, and you're afraid of water, and you have reasons. And that moment of your life is hanging out in one of those rooms in your head.
Exactly.
Where it then does impact every other room you could go into, right? That has water as a subject. Going to the river, going to the lake, even sitting in a bathtub or hot tub or a lake, a puddle, anything, that moment replays probably, or may not be conscious in the front, but it dampers everything. And
it definitely replays.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're going for here is there are moments in our life we cannot let go of, or it haunts us, or it drives us, whatever the thing is, the catalyst. We all do it. You're not a blank slate, are you? You're just not empty. And when things happen, you react to them for the rest of your life.
And you don't forget things. It's not, when people say, oh, just forget it and just move on. Yeah, it doesn't work, does it?
It can.
I mean, you can move on, but the forgetting is impossible.
I don't know if it's moving on, but it's taking that thing and adding to it. That's all you can do. And moving forward from it means it's not as heavy, right? So you can balance it out with something else.
Some people would interpret this movie as too much, like woke, all about feelings.
I don't think that's woke, but I know what you're getting at.
It's not what woke means, but they'd say something like that. Oh, this is a bit, isn't it supposed to be about fighting baddies and stuff?
Yeah.
Not like thinking about it. They make a joke of it in one scene where somebody says, oh, you're having your psychiatry moment over there, because they're talking to each other.
Right.
So I imagine some people would look at this movie in that same way and go,
true.
Why is this so feeling? Why is it all touchy-feely? But I think it worked. And I think it's down to the script is pretty good, because it also does the Marvel stuff where it's really silly and one-liners and funny and action-packed. And a lot of that's down to Hopper from Stranger Things, who's quite funny in this movie. And funny in the face of, like, could die any second. They're being chased by a bunch of armored vehicles. That whole scene's really funny with the pony music.
Yeah.
So I think it's got a bit of everything, but I think it has a lot of mental health stuff.
Yeah.
If that's not what you're into and you think, oh, I don't want to listen to all that, then this might not be your Marvel movie.
True.
Does it further the Marvel thing along?
I don't feel like it does, but then I'm not.
It does something within the Marvel thing, as in we're setting something up, right? I think. I mean, there's a couple of end scenes. Stay till after the credits. There's a lot of credits in this movie. How long do those credits go on for?
It was like 10 minutes, you said.
There's like 10 minutes between like the two scenes. Do people stay till the end at the cinema to see that end scene? The very, very end scene. I reckon a lot of people didn't see that because you have to wait, for 10 minutes to see it. And then it sets up the next movie, which is the Fantastic Four. And then we're going into a new Avengers movie. So this clearly is like a setup for all that. If you think that's worth it, is up to you. How much are you invested in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Does this work as a standalone movie? Probably not.
I don't think any of them do because it's too dependent. At this point,
they don't, do they?
Yeah, it's too dependent on that idea that you get it.
If you hadn't seen any Marvel movies and you just watch this and you don't even know who Yelena is,
yeah,
I don't think it works. And I think that's just a thing. If you've got a long-running thing, you've got to start at the beginning, right? Or at least start somewhere, I don't know, like at the Avengers movies or something. It's like a trap you write yourself into, right?
Absolutely.
Especially when they started like going onto the TV as well, because we're pretty hardcore. We watch all of it, right?
Yeah.
There might be people who only watch the movies, and then they do say stuff about the TV shows in the movies sometimes, and you're like, oh yeah, I know what they're talking about. So you might feel blocked off if you didn't watch everything.
Absolutely.
And you're like, I don't know who that guy is. We watched everything, and the girl who phases in and out, we don't know who she is.
Hey, she's British, and so should we just...
As a Marvel fan who've watched all the Marvel movies, I cannot pinpoint which other movie she was in or TV show. I don't know which one. I know I've seen her because I recognize the actress, and I've seen her in that suit.
Was she in the Hawkeye show? Maybe.
Don't know. I really don't know. I'd have to do research, and I didn't go that far. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to the cast. Florence Pugh is back as Yelena Belova. She's Black Widow's sister. She's one of my favorite characters in MCU.
What is her, like, character name?
Yelena Belova.
No, I mean, like, her name.
Oh, she doesn't have one.
Yeah.
She is the Black Widow as far as, you know, when she sends her in to do this mission and she's wearing the full suit with the back things and all that. That's a Black Widow suit. So I'm assuming because, spoilers, the other Black Widow died, she's now the Black Widow?
I don't think so.
She's never had a movie, has she, called the Black Widow?
She would call her that.
No.
Nobody calls her that, so.
No, they just call her Yelena. But she's from that. She's a Red Room trained Russian person. What did you think of her? Do you like her?
I can watch Florence Pugh all the time.
I'll tell you one thing.
She takes it seriously, but without being, like,
the
obnoxiously
accent
serious.
Could be ropey if you look into it deeply.
It could be, but I don't know, so it doesn't bother me.
I'll tell you one thing. You know when she jumps off the building at the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
That was actually done for real. That was a stunt that she did.
Nice.
She saw the Tom Cruise movies, and she said, why can't I do stunts in these Marvel movies?
Right on.
So the jump off the building and the parachute is what she did that on herself. I saw a little short of her doing it. So that's pretty cool.
Very.
So yeah, Florence, I like her. Sebastian Stan is back as Bucky Barnes. And now I understand why in that Red Hulk movie, Captain America, why they were setting up Bucky Barnes in the Senate and all that kind of stuff. Because in this movie, that comes into play a little bit.
Kind of, but
Yeah.
it's really weak. It's sad.
Yeah, but you get there's like a join where you're like, oh yeah, we've just seen him in the last movie.
Yeah.
And here he is again. Did you like him? Do you like Bucky?
He's very serious. He does his thing. I
do like the character.
kind of neutral.
I like the Winter Soldier quite a bit. I like the movie The Winter Soldier, you know?
Yeah.
But
I feel like everything's tainted for me because of when they did the big battle with the Winter Soldier.
yeah,
It was just like in the street and it was no
that
big
was
deal.
the Captain America movie, The Winter Soldier, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it just was kind of like, oh, I mean, he's powerful. He's the most powerful of this group, it seems to me, because he's the one that can lift heavy shit.
Yeah.
And he seems more indestructible, but no, he's fine. I like him, but I would rather have a whole movie of him telling the story. That'd be great.
Yeah. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is Valentina.
Well, she's good because you want to like her because she's so smooth.
And you have liked her in the past.
Yeah, because you're not sure what she's up to, though.
No, you always say, well, she was trying to put a group together, wasn't she, back in the day?
Yeah, but you didn't know
No.
what. I mean, she's not Eye Patch. You know what I'm saying?
No, she's more Suicide Squad leader than Eye Patch.
But then she says something about we have to shield America.
Yeah.
So there's a little something going on there.
I thought it was just her leaning into old terminology because she knows it's popular, you know? Because that's one of the things she says. We've got to use the brand, the Avengers, you know? Like,
Tell them what they want to hear.
Yeah. We've got David Arbor as Oleski Cholos. Oh, I'm not going to say that right.
You mean Hopper?
Hopper from Stranger Things. Yeah. What did she say? Who's this Russian Santa?
Yeah.
What do you think of David?
I mean, he goes all in. It's kind of a ridiculous character.
It's a very comic character.
It is.
Comical.
Yeah. And
it adds the humor element.
It does.
Everybody else is serious.
It doesn't. I don't laugh at it, so I don't know if it's humorous to me.
Right.
I think it's kind of boring and, shall I say, comic booky, right? So if we've got bad people here who are...
He's larger than life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's fine. It's just, you know.
Wyatt Russell plays John Walker. He's the assholey Captain America. He's quite funny. There's some funny lines with him too, even though he's trying to be an asshole and all that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah,
he's
good. I will watch him in multiple things. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, he was very good in Monarch, where he played the younger version of his dad, and his dad played his dad. And then we've got Hannah.
His dad didn't play his dad.
No,
he played him.
His dad played Snake Plissken in it.
He does not.
We've got Anna John Kamen as Ava Starr. Ava Starr is the one we don't know who it is. The phasing in and out lady.
She was good.
Yes.
I like her.
I like her power. It's one of the best things. She just disappears. And she uses it like all the time. There's a part where she's in the street just talking to them. And then when she's leaving, she just goes invisible and phases out.
But then she has said in the movie, she can only do it for a minute.
Right.
And she has to know where she's going, which is reasonable. Same as Star Trek. You got to know where you're transporting to, because you could get stuck in the middle of a rock and crash to death.
And then we've got Lewis Pullman as Bob. And Bob was excellent.
Very good.
Lewis Pullman is the son of
the president.
Yeah.
Today we do the thing.
Yes.
From Independence Day.
And I don't feel like I'd seen him in anything before, but he's instantly likable in this, you know?
I mean, he's kind of at first, and then you're like, oh, I feel for this guy. You know?
Yeah. Directed by Jake Shearer.
Nice.
He also directed episodes of Star Wars Skeleton Crew, which we did watch.
We did. That was a fun one.
Beef, which is a Netflix show that we didn't watch, with Glenn from The Walking Dead in it.
Okay.
And also lots and lots of music videos.
Okay.
So what do you think of Jake? I mean, it looks like a Marvel movie.
It does. It's totally functional for what it is. And it's fine.
Yeah, the effects are quite good.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing really bad about it. Cheesy. It doesn't look bad ever. It doesn't look too dark or, you know. I think it looks all right. And I know director is not how the movie looks, because that'll be cinematographer, right? But
well, it's got to be something, you know.
Yeah.
You got to have a say.
I think it looks like a Marvel movie, and that is the assignment on one of these things, right? So, yeah. So extras, we did not see any because we watched the streaming version. IMDb reviews, what are those?
Those are reviews on a website called IMDb, which is internetmoviedatabase.com, where you find the 1 stars. 1 out of 10 is not great. 10 is the best. 1 is the... See, I think number 1 should always be the best, but that's just me.
What do you think the 1-star people are going to say about this?
Probably what you said.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, it's, you know, not, I don't know, toxic enough. I don't know.
The first guy says, what a waste of time and money.
Right on, okay.
A boring, illogical plot, poorly constructed script, and randomly stitched together scenes. Why bring 5 people into a room just to let them kill themselves when you can burn the place down? I don't even know what that means.
Well, he's saying her...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
The way she lured them all there under the premise that each one of them was going to kill another one. It was just an assignment to them. Once they get in that room, she was going to turn on the incinerator because she's getting rid of all evidence that she has anything to do with anything bad, because she wants to eventually become president, as we're going to probably learn in future movies.
Uh-huh.
So that wasn't about them killing each other. So this person is an idiot. It's about trapping them and getting them all there under a false pretense, trapping them and killing them.
This person continues with, trying to combine a superhero popcorn movie with Depression Awareness Night might be a good idea to start with, but it was ridiculously executed.
I mean, I acknowledge what it is.
This second guy says, I gave Thunderbolts a shot, and in return, it gave me the kind of coma you usually need general anesthesia for. 30 minutes in, my brain waved the white flag and I passed out.
Okay.
So there's that one.
Interesting.
What the hell did I just watch? The third guy says. The film is so overrated and overhyped that it's hard to believe that it receives praise. I honestly would rather watch the boring Oppenheimer movie 100 times than sit through this again.
Don't pick on Oppenheimer just because you don't like this one.
The boring Oppenheimer movie.
Okay, so we know who this person is. Fair enough.
Yes. So
we know your level of interest.
So those are the IMDb reviews. Let's give this movie a score. I'm going to give Thunderbolts a 6 out of 10.
Okay, 6. I'm going to give it a 7 because I had a good time. It was a fun, flicky movie. I almost made popcorn. I didn't quite, and it wasn't because of the movie. It was because I just didn't want to wash the pan. So it gave me the popcorn vibe, and that's always good. That means I'm into it, and I had fun.
Very good. And yes, it was definitely a step up. If you watched the last Marvel movie, which was Captain America, Red Hulk Goes to Town, or whatever it was called, and you didn't like that one, if you didn't like that one, I feel like this one's definitely a step in the right direction. Because that one was just, it was by the numbers and boring.
It was, sadly.
So next week, we're going to look at a new movie, and it is Ballerina from the world of John Wick.
Goodness, we're going from one trained assassin thingy to another.
Yeah. And I'm always up for a bit of John Wick universe. I like it. So movie recommendations, I'm going with a movie Florence Pugh was in called A Good Person with Morgan Freeman. Fantastic movie.
That was good.
Also about mental health in a way.
Addiction.
Yeah.
And guilt. Yes.
Yes. And she is exceptional in it. And my other one is, if you want to see a good Marvel movie, Black Widow, where she teams up with her sister in a mission. And I thought that one was really fun seeing them together on screen, you know? In fact, isn't that really the only time you see them together on screen?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. But there's a whole 2 hours of them together. So, yeah, Black Widow and A Good Person.
And my recommendations are going back to all the history of cinema, which includes the 20th century, of course, of horror movies. And I'm up to 1995. And, I only had 2 movies from 1995 on my horror list. So I don't know if it just wasn't a good year it was the year of my first marriage and divorce, let's say.
Horror.
First divorce. And we're leading up to the year of lots of big blockbusters, right? Going to the theater all the time for whatever. So 1995, we have Species, which was quite interesting.
Love it.
Of course, another one where somebody's creating a thing and it turns into a terrible thing. Piranha, 1995, which of course is a remake or an addition to the Piranha universe. I don't remember it. I know I've seen it because I was like, oh, Piranha. I loved it from the 70s.
You've seen it many times on screen TV.
Yes. From Dusk Till Dawn, 1996, which is one of your faves. Mary Riley, 1996, which I particularly enjoyed because it's kind of creepy and, it's about the lady who worked for Jekyll and Hyde guy. So it's a different angle on the Jekyll and Hyde story, which I happen to like. And I believe that was John, what's his name? From that one movie where he's out in the woods with the people and he's got a cult going on. We just watched it recently. He's got a cult out in the woods.
Don't know. And
we lure these people in and then we're going to exterminate them. And then he's playing the piano at the end by himself. John Malkovich.
The Idol. No, not the Idol. There's something. Yeah, I know which. The A24 movie.
Yes. Yeah. That was him. John Malkovich, isn't it?
Yes.
I believe. I could be totally wrong.
He was,
all that.
Yes.
No, I mean in Mary Riley.
Oh, okay.
Then we have Scream. Brilliant. Scream comes around. And then Hellraiser Bloodline, which is one of the Hellraiser movies. And I'm not saying about quality. I just am telling you the movies I've seen. If you want to be like me, you're going to watch them all.
I can't differentiate between those. Anything after Hellraiser 1, they all just blend into each other, and I don't know which is which.
I'd have to watch them again.
Yeah.
Probably.
The first one's an exceptional, I take it on its own. The other ones are just cash in, I feel. Yeah. But the first one is excellent and really fucked. Isn't it? It's mental.
I don't remember, so I have to see them again.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty mental. All right, Ace Scully stuff. I've been playing a new game. Well, it's not new. I just got it on the Steam sale. It's called Robocop Rogue City. And it's a officially licensed Robocop game. And it's not like a side-scrolling, like old 80s game, like the old Robocop game. It's a full-on first-person. See, I thought it was a shooter. So when I bought it, I looked at a little video on Steam, and I was like, Robocop in a shooting game? That was kind of cool. Like a Call of Duty, almost. And then when I got to play it, it's not very expensive at the moment. It's like $3.99 or something. When I started playing it, I realized it is a shooter. Yes, you do shoot people as Robocop. But it's actually an adventure game as well, where you go around talking to people, solving crimes. There's scenes where you have to go into a murder scene, like with another cop, and Robocop uses all his scanners and stuff to figure out like what happened there. Like you'll see a blood stain on the wall that nobody else can see, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So it's a crime solving. Sometimes the levels are you just going into a warehouse and shooting a bunch of punks. They're always punks, the bad guys in it, like with like spiky red hair or.
You mean like from the 80s movies?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
yeah.
you're just shooting punks. Apparently punks are really bad. Like you don't like
They're
punks.
disposable.
Yeah. So you're going in, you're shooting punks, you're solving crimes. And then there's also a story unfolding. Like it's almost like they made a sequel to the first RoboCop film, but it's probably not canon, you know? But it's fun to play, and they use the real voices from the people who were in RoboCop, which is cool. It looks really good. Have you seen it at all?
Some of it, yeah, it does look good.
Yeah, it looks really modern. It's very fancy looking. So it's RoboCop Rogue City, and it is $3.99 on Steam sale. Normally, it's like $59.99. So when I saw it for $3.99, I was like, whoa, why is it so cheap? Is it really bad? No, it's not bad. It's really fun. So RoboCop Rogue City. Sito, what's for dinner?
Yet to be determined. You mentioned pizza. That requires a drive across town.
Yeah, that might be a bit too much.
I mean, it's a drive across town. It's no big deal, but that is the dilemma these days. And no, it won't be delivered because it's a Casey's Pizza, which we prefer over the delivery kind. So I don't know. I'm thinking personally Taco Bell.
Yeah.
But also Jimmy John's, because then I don't have to go anywhere. But it's up in the air at this point.
All right. So what is your advice? And let's get out of it.
My advice is not really advice. It's just sort of, you know. It's like you are a recipe, right? You as a person. Some ingredients are more or less, depending on what flavor or the science of what it needs to do to make you. Some ingredients add a little texture and the boundaries to hold it all together, you know, like crust on a bread. How does that happen? Or the edge of a browned piece of tofu or meat, whatever your inclination is. There's science there. There's ingredients there. There's elements in there. There's whatever that's making that happen. Some ingredients are very undetectable. So like in our lives, this is what I'm getting at. The moments of our lives, we may not even realize what they've done to who we are, right? It's a fleeting moment. It could have been anything. It could have been the day that you were moving and you're upset, some whatever reason, drama, you drop a box on the ground, a stranger came and picked it up and helped you load it up. And that moment changed the trajectory of that day. You were going down a dark path and all of a sudden you're like, well, that person was really nice. And I'm just going to have a better attitude for the rest of today, right? You don't even remember it, but it changed everything that day. But it's an ingredient that you need to be who you are. Like you don't work without all the stuff. And I'm not saying it's good that we have suffered in our lives or bad things have happened. No, I don't believe in that suffery shit. It's just life. You can't avoid sadness and pain and all that. It's going to be part of you, but it's part of you now, right? You can't like pull out the salt from a cake and expect the cake to taste right. You can't take out the baking soda, which is bitter. If you put it on your tongue, you'd be like, ugh, baking soda, yuck, gross. You can't take it out though, because then it won't work. You know, if you're making a cake, of course, that's where my mind's going, is cake or bread. So that's it.
Well, thank you very much, Sid Talk. Let's play some music. HeyScully.com, that's the place you can go to get this podcast. You can also get it on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, and YouTube. You can also go to the social media places, Twitter, Instagram, or Blue Sky, and you can find me. I'm A Scully, and she's Sid Talk. Email feedback to me, ascully@ascully.com. Don't email Sid Talk. She doesn't want your email. And stay classy. The Marvel MCU. The next one is the Fantastic Four.
And I'm going to say, think for yourself, or someone is doing it for you.